Hi, my name is Deborah Henney. I'm a wife, author, mother, speaker. Today I want to release a prophetic word entitled ID in the Identity. And I originally received this starting February 3rd and was more fully released on the 5th. And I really felt that originally it kind of really came as these concentric circles, like circle within a circle within a circle. And then it was more fully released to me as like a thumbprint. And then I felt God say this: I am putting my thumbprint into my people. It is a pressing that will mark, that will cause a distinction that will set my people apart. There will be a parsing, a separating, or those who are truly attuned and those whose hearts are disconnected. I am imprinting my people with an unmistakable ID, my ID, and from this they will stand strong and firm in their identity. It is this process of forging my ID in them that will identify them within and without. There's a deepening of identity that I'm working in my people. My people will be marked in character and in works. There's going to be a forging of unmistakable holiness and purity coupled with supernatural workings in my name. Those who endure through the first will experience exponential increase in the second. This is so my name will be known and glorified throughout the earth. For this will not take place in one region or one church, but in my people who are throughout the earth. So kind of going back to the very beginning where I said I saw a circle within a circle within a circle within a circle. The very first time I saw that, it was almost like through a very intense dream and a vision. It kept happening over and over again. I kept seeing circles within circles within circles. And then one time it looked like he took a pinch and he went from the very middle circle and he pulled out something that looked like a glowing ball. It was almost like, I don't want to say fire, because it wasn't really like fire like I would think fire here on earth, but it was like a ball, and it looked like it was just between the thumb and the forefinger, picked it up right out of the middle circle, and then threw it on the earth. And when it hit the earth, you could tell that it wasn't little, it was huge, and it impacted the whole earth. And it was clear that it was this, from the very middle part of this circle within a circle within a circle, that it had a huge impact of glory throughout the whole earth. And originally when he revealed to me part of what this was, I was driving in my car, I was at a red light, and he said, a wheel within a wheel. And I about fell over. I ran into, as soon as I got home, I ran to get my Bible. And sure enough, in Ezekiel, it's very similar to what Ezekiel saw with a wheel within a wheel, and the burning coal that was taken out and was taken out of the middle of the wheel within the wheel. So not that that's fully processed in me yet even, but then he also, with the thumbprint, he really took that, and there were 5 circles in the visions that he gave me. 5 circles within circles within circles, and he correlated that to the 5-fold. That the 5-fold were, gifts from Christ to the church to build up, to edify, to bring the church into what God has called the church to be, which is bearers of his glory and bearers of his image here in the earth. So there's something with the 5-fold. I know I've had a few prophetic words with the 5-fold ministry, but he really correlated that thumbprint, that image bearing, with the 5-fold, and the role of the 5-fold being synergistic to bring greater measures of glory and greater measures of image bearing into the church as God raises up the 5-fold into the position and to operate together the way that he designed it to be. So that's one part of this. The other part of this is on an individual level, where God is taking his image, his identity, because we can be identified by our fingerprints, his identity, and imprinting and pressing deeply into our lives. And in that deep pressing, which is not necessarily comfortable for us, as it presses into areas of flesh, areas that need to be worked out, areas that we have wounds, what have you, as he presses very deeply to get that stuff out, he is imprinting his image more deeply into us. And in that image, we find our identity, our true identity, which is in him. Not an identity that we establish, but an identity and a definition that he establishes. So again, it's a very deep pressing, almost like a crushing and an imprinting and a marking, like a coin, marked like a coin to bear the image of who we belong to, which is Christ. And he gives us some external things that we can look at. We can look at character. We can look at deeper levels of purity and of holiness and supernatural workings. And his word here is very clear that it's going to be both, not just supernatural workings, but also deep character. And in that, we will be identified as God's for his glory. And I love how he said, it's not just one region, not just one church, but it's all of his church. All over the world, he's going to be doing this work. But again, we have to co-labor. It doesn't just happen. We have to be willing to be marked. We have to be willing to let God go deep into our hearts, into our lives, even if it's not comfortable, and let him bring his image into every area of our lives. And but the promise is great, that if you endure, he said endure through the first, that there's an exponential increase in the second. So it's like a twofold word, where there's an enduring word, but there's a promise on the other side. So if we endure through the pressing, through the marking, through that deep imprinting, and we let him bring his identity into our lives, there's an exponential increase in anointing, in glory, and in release of the presence and the power of God through our lives on the other side. So, till next time, be blessed.